highly anticipated battle here with a spot in the national championship on the line. The two teams that have arguably been the most impressive this weekend here in the NCCAA National Championship. It's number 1 Cedarville against number 4 Bluefield. The Rams 19-13 out of Virginia. The Yellow Jackets 19-12 out of Ohio. Daniel Gilman here welcoming you back into the Monahan Orthopedic Capital Center in Winona Lake, the home of Grace College, as Cedarville and Bluefield tip off. Both teams send out the same starting fives as last game, last night. A duel between Bluefield and the host Grace, where we saw Naquan Cousins come back out. He was an all-tournament member last season, and with the ball now, number 10, Jorge Concepcion III, the team's leading scorer with 20 points. Tyquan Reed, number 5, drives with the left, and he scores off Colin Van Horn to start this one. Bluefield, the designated home team today. They won the coin flip. And the number 1 seed, Cedarville, the designated visitors. In the white jersey, Cedarville has Grant Zawatsky with the ball to the corner in Brandon Moffmer. And now underneath, Van Horn, the hook shot with the face mask. Looks like a few NFL players that NBA players that I could think of there with the face mask. Alongside Van Horn and Moffmer, we see Connor Tenhove and Quentin Green. Green had a hot start yesterday, scored 8 points right out of the bat in the strong performance by Cedarville against Nebraska Christian. As this mid-range jumper no good from Donnell Gooch. Gooch defending Van Horn down in the paint, right side, spinning runner again, no good on the hook shot. Nifty play between the legs for Gooch to keep it alive. With it, the point guard, Jeremiah Jenkins. Jenkins, an impressive step-in shot just inside the three-point line, 4-2 the lead, as Jenkins led with Reed and Concepcion by the three-point threat of Brandon Shields, 6'7" freshman forward, and the senior Donnell Gooch, number 50, who we saw just a minute ago here defending on the drive from Moffmer, and Gooch blocks it away. Concepcion had clutch shots at the end of the win yesterday against Grace. Third highest performance this season, his career high is 31. Some strong bench players as well for Bluefield looming in the form of 0, 1, and 25. That's Francisco Williams, Naquan Cousins, and Olatunji Abifame. Concepcion, number 10, gets blocked by the number 10 in white, Colin Van Horn. Van Horn adds to his 36 blocks this season, second on the team. Right side, Zawatsky tries to feed it under to Van Horn, no good. Here comes the flying Jenkins ahead of Green. Green gets enough of it to bat it up atop of the square on the glass, and it's quick pace. Back and forth we go. Red jerseys versus white jerseys flying like flash as Van Horn gets fouled on the quick feed from the left side. We'll see Colin Van Horn, the freshman from Proctorville, go to the line. Van Horn yesterday, 12 points, taking his first free throw of the weekend, and it's no good. Players to watch, Connor Tenhove, number 35, a two-sport athlete for Cedarville. He's also a starting pitcher for the Yellow Jackets. He's a first-team all-conference member, tops in the nation in free throw percentage as he watches his teammates sink 1 of 2. Athletes all over the court for Bluefield, averaging 79 points a game for the one-time all-conference member in the ACC, Richard Morgan, a star for Virginia, who saw his Cavaliers take care of business today against North Carolina State in the ACC tournament out in North Carolina. Corner 3, no good from Reed. Rebounded with the high-flying 6'2" freshman Brandon Moffmer, who is second team in the conference out of the Great Midwest Athletic, the GMAC for Cedarville. Bluefield in the AAC, the Appalachian Athletic. Moffmer inside the three-point line, just inside. Straight away, hits the jumper, and the lead right back to CU. Reed elects not to take the three this time. Concepcion left alone. His pass to Gooch, picked off by Moffmer. Ooh, and a foul called against Gooch there. Moffmer had an open lane to the hole. And Donnell Gooch, who flirted with foul trouble yesterday, finished with 4 fouls, nearly had a 5th. Picks up number 1 here just 3 minutes and 33 seconds into the ball game. Fans just settling in, the second game of 4 semifinals today. The first one won by Roberts Wesleyan in come from behind fashion, down 13 at halftime to Hannibal LaGrange. Roberts Wesleyan on to the finals Saturday at 2 o'clock. Who will they face? Tenhove gets batted around, regains possession over to Van Horn, who's hook off of the glass, no good, brought down by Concepcion, the senior guard from Chesapeake, Virginia. Another turnover, though, the third of the game, picked up by Zawadzki, the team's leading stealer. He had 2 yesterday, found by Moffmer, flung underhand over to Tenhove and knocked out of bounds by Jeremiah Jenkins. Jenkins, a sophomore from Norfolk. And we see a couple substitutions in white for Cedarville. They've got some nice depth as well in Colton Linkus, a junior guard who has a nice sweet shot from 3, 44% this season. Keep an eye on number 3. Damon Parker as well, has good handles. He'll take over as point guard for the moment, with Moffmer moving over to more of a shooting guard role, standing in the corner. Tenhove finds Moffmer. He takes the shot from the corner. It's in, but his foot's on the line. No good. A turnover there, as we had a high-flying first minute and a half, but Bluefield has now gone scoreless the last 2.5 minutes with a couple turnovers to boot. Jenkins wants to slow things down. We'll see what Richard Morgan elects to do. He spent 3 years at Appalachian State, 3 years at Hampton as an assistant coach at both. Took a trip to the NCAA tournament as a player and as an assistant coach. Here trying to take a trip to the national championship after a second-round loss last season to Emmanuel. Parker defended tightly by Jenkins. Now it's Shields on Tenhove. We haven't seen Connor Tenhove take a shot yet. This time he posts up, flings up a prayer, no good. Nearly rebounded by Moffmer, but brought down by Shields. Shields had a pair of early threes yesterday, finished with 9 points. Deep 3 by Shields, no good. Offensive rebound, Concepcion. Half of his team was ready to drop back on defense. Gooch patrolling the middle. What a cut by Concepcion in the lead, right back to Bluefield. Snaps a scoreless streak of 3 minutes. Concepcion with 3 rebounds, now adds a pair of points. Moffmer from 3. Looked good, but just faded a little to the right. Brought down by Shields, his second rebound. Now, Cedarville, the team on a scoreless run. 2.5 minutes without a point for the Yellow Jackets. A team averaging nearly 80 points a game. Ranked 3rd in the nation in 3-point percentage and 9th in field goals. When they shoot it, it usually goes in, as Parker picks up another turnover. Linkus passes up on the shot, leads to a wide open 3 by Moffmer, no good. He's 0 for 2 from long range. Tenhove gathers and resettles. Moffmer yesterday a team high 20 points. His season high is 30. Started every game this season along with Tenhove, who swishes one from 3. The team's leader from behind the arc at 46% gives the visiting Cedarville University Yellow Jackets the lead, 8-6. Shields gets blocked. He stood and watched and waiting for him was Van Horn. Now waiting for the passes, Linkus up and under for the bucket, 10-6, and that'll cause a timeout for the 4-seed Bluefield College Rams. 19-13 on the season, a 20-win year would mean a chance to play for the national championship for both these teams, as it's a full timeout, and we will take one with it. 13-14 remaining in the first half. It's a 4-point game here in the semifinals of the NCCAA National Championship. After the timeout, we take our first look at number 1, Naquan Cousins, who came in with a splash yesterday in the first half, had 10 points and 5 rebounds with a massive putback dunk as well. Cousins can fly. He added a windmill dunk late in the second half, which has proven to be the highlight of this tournament so far. Let's see if he can top it, as Gooch smoothly dances his way down into the hole and drops into 10-8. That'll end a 5-0 run. Linkous on the pass from Tenho, finds Connor wide open from the left side. He is sweet from 3, 2 for 2 now, and it's 13-8. Trying to run their offense through the middle in the full court press, get it through Gooch and over to Cousins. Jeremiah Jenkins, second teamer in the conference each of his first 2 seasons here with Bluefield. Gets it over to Cousins. Cousins named all-tournament team last season, on his way to another nod, especially if Bluefield can find their way in the championship. A one-and-done trip as Gooch's shot rebounded by Tenhove. Here comes Zawatsky, plenty of speed for 52. Drops it off. Fadeaway jumper from the corner, no good from Damon Parker, and everyone gonna run. Concepcion, a little runner, teardrop, no good. Rebounded by Green, his first stat collected in this one. Green had a little bit of a flash in the pan yesterday, had 8 points in the first half, none in the second half. Actually had all 8 of Cedarville's points to start the game. Heat check for Tenhove, offensive rebound, Linkous. Tenhove wants it again. Lengthy and deadly, number 35 for Cedarville. As Zawatsky, stat stuffer, how I would describe him, 10 points, 6 assists, 3 steals, 2 rebounds yesterday. Green bodies it up, drives, and gets fouled down on the floor. And with 9 seconds left in the shot clock, we'll have a reset to 20 with 11:15 to go in the first half, and a substitution coming as Ben Grove checks in. The lanky freshman center will give Gooch a break. Early on, both teams using the paint. 6 points in the paint for Bluefield, 4 for Cedarville, as another attempt, but Zawatsky fouled from behind. Grove caught a little sleeping there as the 6'8" freshman can't keep track of the 6' senior. And Zawatsky, who did not have a free throw yesterday, will bring his 88% pedigree to the line here. Cedarville led from the get-go against a team that was outmatched in 8th-seeded Nebraska Christian College Sentinels. Here, more of a battle of 2 teams that have similar sizes, with Bluefield and the strength and athleticism that they bring to the court. But early on, it's Cedarville with a 15-8 lead. Jenkins showing off some nice moves. Doesn't really do much as Concepcion was standing out of bounds. He doesn't like the call. Cedarville without a foul. Bluefield 4 already. Halfway to the bonus with 10:50 to go. Zawatsky straight away, right down Broadway, and he gets fouled. Will it be a shooting foul? It will not. So there's the 5th team foul on Bluefield, and Jenkins not happy he's going to be coming out. In comes Wes Ayers, another talented piece off the bench for Richard Morgan in his 10th season, trying to make it to the championship game after a 4th place finish last year. 3rd trip to this national stage for Bluefield. 9th trip for Cedarville. But their first trip since 2013 in their first season as an NCAA D2 team. When they won it in 2012, Cedarville was in their provisional year with the NCAA. Bluefield trying to get over that 18-win hump that they got stagnant with last season. There's the strength of Cousins being shown as they finally get into double digits. It's 15-10. Here with 10 minutes to go in the first half. We're halfway through the first half of our second semifinal game. Winner takes on the 2 seed, Roberts Wesleyan. Will it be 1 versus 2? Or will it be 4 versus 2? As Zawatsky gets fouled, we take an immediate timeout at 9:51 and return just after this break. You're watching the NCCAA National Championships.
Colin Van Horn, Quentin Green will be set to check in for the Yellow Jackets after we come back from our media timeout.
We've seen Zawatsky at the line already. He's 2 for 2, now 3 for 3 as the top-seeded Yellow Jackets lead 16-10. 2 games following this one, we've got the Final Four for the women's bracket. As Grace College in the nightcap. The first game, Bruton Park against Roberts Wesleyan, 2 versus 3. We'll see if it's a Roberts Wesleyan dual party in the national championship. Both of them advanced yesterday to the semis. Grace will face the top seed and defending champs Mid-America Christian University. The Evangels took care of Yellowstone late last night, and they'll be on tap again in the primetime matchup tonight against the hosts. Concepcion, strong pass to the corner. Looking for something to do with it is Olatunji Abifame. And a deep 3 from Concepcion brings his team back in it as he does well. Moffmer back over, playing 2-man ball with Green. Green a little too deep. Caught by Linkus, he nearly walked. Shot clock at 12, and an offensive foul down low called against Van Horn. Van Horn hustles. He maybe at times can be a little too physical, and there it harms him. And a turnover, the 4th of the game for Cedarville. Chance to turn this into a 1-possession game here early. 8:40 left in the first half. Grove looking for an outlet. He decides to go inside to Cousins. Cousins with a mismatch on the shorter Linkus. He bodies his way around him and flexes afterwards. 17-15 Cedarville. Trying to stop a 5-0 run from the Bluefield team out of Virginia. Linkus from 3, his first shot of the game short, off the head of Green, picked up by Moffmer. Moffmer quickly throws it back up. High rebound for Quentin Green. He sends it over to Linkus, shuffle of the feet. Wide open Green in the far side corner, no good. Offensive rebound, 3rd of the possession, right back to Green. The defender Cousins had fallen. Green gets his own rebound. That's 4 offensive rebounds in 1 possession. And Green comes through 19-15. Driving is Ayers, takes an extra step. 3 ball, no good from Cousins. He can shoot the 3, but he hasn't done it extremely well this season. Cousins at about 38%, and now an and 1 for Van Horn brings it up to 21-15. Yesterday, Cousins was on fire from 3 of 4. Honestly, all of Bluefield was on fire from 3 yesterday. They were 7 of 11 in the second half from behind the arc. As Van Horn comes through with the 3-point play, then the the turnover turns into another quick 2 points, and the fans that have made the trip from Cedarville, Ohio on their feet as Moffmer and his teammates mobbed by the bench after a quick little 5-0 run, after allowing a 5-0 run, and the timeout with 7:04 remaining in the first half brings us to a quick break. NCCAA National Championships brought to you by the nccaa.org. Bluefield in the red, Cedarville in the white, and the Yellow Jackets without much yellow on their uniform, mind you. A little bit of a trimming around the black lettering. The Yellow Jackets lead 24-15 on a 7-0 run. Jenkins shuffled the feet, called for the travel. By the way, Cedarville in the bonus. Bluefield far from the bonus. Cedarville with only 1 team foul. So that could be a deciding factor here in the final 6:40 of the first half. Richard Morgan, the head coach for Bluefield, 163 and 131 at the helm here in his 10th season. Cedarville University's head coach Pat Estep picked up win number 200 yesterday in his 11th season with that national championship ring from 2012 and his Coach of the Year award as well from 2012. Linkus finally gets on the scoreboard. It's 26-15. He provided quite the pop off the bench yesterday with 6 rebounds and 4 assists, but didn't score, so there's his first assist of this game on the stat sheet on the pass to Tenhove. Not the strongest pass over to Concepcion, but he drives strong with the left. Nearly goes up and under for the and 1, but he'll find himself on a trip to the line. Concepcion makes his first trip to the free throw line today. Yesterday he was 0 for 1 from the stripe. As a team, Bluefield shooting 74%. Good for 10th in the nation among NCCAA teams. And that'll pull back within 10. See if he can get it to 9 here with just under 6 minutes to go in the first half. Hard to keep up the torrid pace we saw yesterday that Bluefield exhibited and then early in this game, but Cedarville has done a fantastic job slowing it down, forcing Bluefield to play their style of basketball. As we'll see Francisco Williams check in for the first time. Williams, the hero to win the regional against Hiwassee on the buzzer beater with 1 second left. He also added the tying free throws with 20 seconds left, snapping a 4-game losing streak for Bluefield, propelling them into an automatic bid to this tournament here in Winona Lake, Indiana. Pass inside to Tenhove, to the corner, left side, Green, he knew it was off, and it's picked up by Jenkins. He's off and running. Look at the speed with Linkus behind him. Jenkins has no time for his speed. 26-19. Waiting to come back in is Zawadzki. He's had enough time on the bench. Give and go. Feed inside on the drive from Green. He's fouled by a tall 6'8" senior in Francisco Williams. That's the 8th foul for Bluefield. And it helps Cedarville get on the board here if the free throws go in, because Cedarville 1 for 7 in this skid that they've seen Bluefield pull back within 7. The lead was as large as 11 points just 40 seconds ago. But the first free throw no good from Green, which watches Moffmer and Zawadzki come in. Linkus takes a break. %50 from the line there as it's 27-19. Jenkins came through with the coast-to-coast bucket a minute ago. Now he tries to set up Cousins on the far side. Deep three. Oh, that one is nothing but nylon as it's 22 now to 27. Inside. Out to the left side corner, driving is Green. Had a good position on it, but couldn't bank it off the glass. And it's picked up by Francisco Williams. Drives to the near side, over to Jenkins. Stops, pops, drops. Back-to-back threes by Jeremiah Jenkins. After a strong showing to start the game, Jenkins was 1 for 7 from 3 yesterday. Today, 2 for 2. And those threes bring them right back into it, 27-25, and a timeout called. Cedarville wants to talk things over. We'll be right back on the nccaa.org. After some time to talk with their head coach, Pat Estep, a former student assistant as a senior at Cedarville, he waited his time. Now at the helm of the Yellow Jackets here in his 11th season. Watches his star sophomore smash one in from just outside the three-point line. So Tenhove now 3 for 3 from long range. Whoa, a collision right in front of us, and it's gonna go by way of Bluefield. Ben Grove, the freshman center, gets way up there, and the foul goes against Green, who will be taken out immediately by Estep as he brings in Colton Linkus. At the free throw line stands Francisco Williams. Back towards him, Williams loses it. Oh man, no one in front of him. Whoa, now the referees are gonna talk things over. It looked like it went off Williams, and it did. So Francisco Williams can't quite get the grasp on that pass inside. It was a good pass too. And would have had an easy lay-in or dunk. Richard Morgan clearly not happy with the call. He thought it was tipped away, as at the last second, Bluefield's players were lobbying for that as well. Inside, Van Horn. He's been a menace all day long. Spinning fadeaway jumper is good from about 6 feet out. And it's 32-25. Colin Van Horn now with 8 points, second on the team behind Tenhove, who does have those 3 threes. Jenkins with 10 leads the way with a pair of threes as well. Pass inside to Grove, poked away by Moffmer. The ever-pesky Yellow Jackets, as you would expect, continue to buzz and continue to steal. And here a quick trip as Tenhove's 3 has no one under it to try to gather an offensive rebound. Jenkins has this one tipped and it hits off the front rim. Back-to-back one-and-done trips, and there's 2 minutes and 32 seconds left in a 7-point game in the first half. That steal by Zawadzki, his first of the game, 53rd of the season to lead the team. Look at Van Horn, hold off the defender, and it's gonna go the other way. It's a foul on Van Horn, his second offensive foul of the game. Maybe a situation of a bit of a hook and hold there, as he was definitely holding down the defender, but they both went up for the ball, and Pat Estep is gonna take him out for Donnell Gooch. Excuse me, for Robert Okoro. Okoro had a fantastic game yesterday against Nebraska Christian. 9 points off the bench, all in the first half, including an acrobatic and one dunk. Jenkins nearly has it taken away by Zawadzki, and then it is taken away by Moffmer, his second steal of the contest. Linkus to the corner. Moffmer elects not to take the 3, and he goes all the way around the world for the lay-in, 34-25. This tight press by Cedarville causing nightmares for Bluefield, who wants to run and unable to do so in this game. 25 points. Has to be one of the lowest outages this season. Let's take a look. Zawadzki's first foul, only the 4th team foul, but it will send him to the line on the shooting foul. Reed gets on the board for the first time since the opening buzzer when he added a basket, as we see a substitution in for Bluefield. Reed's 2 free throws are both good. 34-27. Adam Stanley comes in. No, that's not right, pardon me. The stats messed up there. 15 for Bluefield comes in, which we don't have a number on. Adam Stanley, number 15 for Cedarville, standing on the bench. But Cedarville does put in the bucket. It's 36-27. Apologies there. Stanley does Did see some playing time yesterday, pardon me, for Cedarville, as the stats guy's trying to figure things out here. Moffmer comes in for Tenhove. Excuse me, Moffmer comes. All right, I'm just gonna not look at the stat sheet real quick. The stats guys have done a fantastic job this entire weekend, but confusing right now. But the first free throw, no good from Francisco Williams. He's trying to pull this one within 8. On the court right now, Tenhove, Zawatsky, Okoro. Okoro skies for the rebound here, nearly poked away by Cousins, along with Moffmer and Linkus. In red, we have Williams, Reed, Concepcion, Cousins, and number 15. Pardon me, no number 15 on the roster. He does come down with the rebound, though, and here comes Reed running. Dropped off to Williams to the corner. Looks like that's Wes Ayers, so they changed the number of Wes Ayers. So number 15 is Wes Ayers. Pardon me on that one, we got a correction there. Left corner, deep three, in and out by Reed, and the rebound, white ball, as Ayers went over the top along with Cousins to try to grab it. 18.3 on the clock, 9-point game. Taking his time is Moffmer. Driving from the left, off the backboard, too strong, gonna have to throw up a prayer. It's not in time, did not get it off in time. 36-27 the score at halftime. Cedarville rode a strong midway point of this half, finishes the half on a 9-0 run over the last 4 minutes. And we'll take a 10-minute break now, come back with the second half of action, 20 minutes away from seeing who will play in the national championship against Roberts Wesleyan right here on theNCCAA.org. The Yellow Jackets in the white going left to right now, Bluefield in the red. 20 minutes away from a national championship game being set. Number 2 seed Roberts Wesleyan awaiting. You know they're scouting this one as well. As we've got a quick foul called by the Zebras in charge against the Bluefield Rams out of Bluefield, Virginia. And Green goes back up, gets his own rebound, can't make the bunny though, a little too strong, and it's brought down by Tyquan Reed. Reed can run. Left side, Shields, his second three today, no good. He's 0 for 2 from behind the arc, and it's brought down by Green. Connor Tenhove had a fantastic first half, 11 points on 50% shooting, 3 of 5 from behind the arc. Coming off of a only 5-point game yesterday, his second lowest outing of the season. But they didn't really need him. Cruz past Nebraska Christian as Van Horn, who also had a nice first half with 8 points, can't start the second half in the same ledger. And so far, we're scoreless through the first 55 seconds of the second half of action. Bluefield did a good job in that first half. They had 7 fouls early, finished the half with only 8 fouls. And right now, I think the referees forgot to unscrew the lids on the tops of the baskets. But nope, Van Horn finds a lane coming from the left and adds to the lead. 38-26. Our second of 4 semifinal games tonight. The women's bracket shows Roberts Wesleyan against Bruton Parker coming up next, and then Grace against Mid-America to conclude our fantastic Thursday of basketball, leading to a slate of 4 consolation championship games tomorrow, and then 4 more Saturday, including the 2 ultimate championships We only have one ticket punch so far. Great hustle by Jenkins just to get to the ball and then calls a timeout. Zawadzki went flying over his back, but Jenkins was able to call time. 18:04 to go. Bluefield looking for their first points of this half.
30-second. Bluefield timeout. 30 seconds.
See what play they drew up as Cousins comes into the game. It's Jorge Concepcion from the right side, coming in from the elbow to the mid-baseline. Sweet looking shot for Concepcion, who now has 9 points, and it's a 9-point deficit. Handoff from Zawadzki, picked up by Moffmer. He's gonna take the shot unguarded. Ferocious rebound there by Naquan Cousins. 3-ball, Jenkins, whoa, too strong, it was on pace. But sometimes the worst offensive shots lead to the easiest offensive rebounds, and we'll see Cousins go to the line.
Van Horn with player foul number 3. Team first, second half. Naquan Cousins shoots 2.
Cousins today hasn't quite replicated what he did yesterday with a 19-point outage. But he does make this first free throw. Cousins burst onto the seam in that quarterfinal win with 10 points in the first half, including 2 highlight reel dunks. %73% from the line, converts on both, and it's down to a 7-point deficit, where we saw it at half, it was 9 points at half. Now down to 7, Zawadzki buzzes his way around, gets it to Green. Green with those long legs, back out to Tenhove. A lot of these players for Cedarville just as athletic as Bluefield. Just, in my opinion, one of the reasons they were able to top Grace, they just had a little bit more athleticism than the Lancers of Grace College last night, and Tenhove able to convert, matching bucket for bucket here in the second half. Easy layup, too strong by Cousins, brought down by Van Horn. Not sure if anyone has the amount of physicality that Van Horn brings to this court. Constantly diving and jumping and throwing elbows. Then Tenhove looks for him, backs it out to Zawadzki. Now they go one-on-one. They like the matchup. Coach Estep wanted the matchup, and they called a foul on Cousins. Tenhove with a bit of a grin there, got away with it maybe.
Team second. Shooting 2 for the Yellow Jackets, Connor Tenhove.
Tenhove with a bit of an unorthodox free throw shooting tactic there, leaning forward, then backing it back out. Gets it up to a 10-point lead once again. His first free throws of the day as he now has 14 points on the season, 95%. Best in the nation in the NCCAA. So you think he's gonna miss those? No way. 42-31 with 16 and a half to go. Yesterday, the second half was the best friend for the Rams out of Bluefield, Virginia. They started at 6 for 6 from behind the arc, finished as torrid as you can get. They shot 60% in the second half and did not miss a free throw. Now with 7 seconds left, gets batted out of bounds, and we'll see what play is drawn up here. Right now there are 5 Rams standing at the free throw line. Eventually, Jenkins moves to go throw it in. Looking for Concepcion backs it out to Cousins instead. Jumps over Moffmer, steps into a three. Off to the right, rebounded by Tenhove. Tenhove stands 6'7", 180, sophomore from Valpo. Not too far from here in Winona Lake. First team all-conference in the GMAC for Connor Tenhove as Quentin Green, the freshman from Columbus, contributes. Green had only 1 point, so now 1 of 7 from the field as Zawatsky adds a little clap in the face of Jeremiah Jenkins with 15 and a half to go and a 13-point Cedarville lead. In the first game of the day, we saw a 13-point lead evaporated in the second half. Jenkins on the three, no good. Deep throw, Tenhove tries to save it, but it goes into the hands of Reed. Little too assuming there of Moffmer. And now Cousins gets stripped by Zawatsky. He flings it over to Moffmer, but is fouled. Man, the busy hands and the annoyingness of Grant Zawatsky. That's what I have written down after yesterday's win. Quote, annoying for Zawatsky, who has now 54 steals on the season, 5 this weekend. And I have a feeling that this matchup here is going to have quite a few all-tournament team members, regardless of who wins, when this weekend is all said and done. A reminder that after our championship broadcast on Saturday, stay on the tube. We'll have the presentation of the trophies for the runners-up and the champions for men and women. Saturday, 2 and 5 o'clock. Men at 2, women at 5. What an up and under from Moffmer. Great celebration from the bench as well, as Brandon Moffmer has a chance to get 3 the old-fashioned way and extend this run to 9-0. Just a freshman, one of 2 freshmen in the all-conference team in the GMAC, and Moffmer does finish off the old-fashioned three-point play. Out of Chillicothe, Ohio, one of 8 players on the team from the state of Ohio. Only had to go 1 state over here to the west to get to Indiana. Now down 15. Excuse me, down 16. Deep three, no good. Brought down by Damon Parker. Look at that, nifty handles there as 1, 2, and 3 continue to pass the ball. That's Parker. Now holding it is Moffmer in the corner. Linkus moves to the right corner. 2 ball screens. It goes over to the corner to Parker. Nice footwork, amazing passing inside to Tenhove. He's triple teamed, and the shot just rolls out. 14 minutes to go, 16-point lead. They're gonna keep chucking up threes. No, instead it's just about a 15-footer, no good. Rebound by Parker. Cedarville able to rebound well. They've out-rebounded Bluefield 30-19. Tenhove flings one in, it bounces off the back of the board. Intended for Van Horn. Flying is Concepcion, coast to coast, and he'll go to the line for 2. Trying to snap a 9-0 run and a scoreless drought, nearly spanning 4 minutes for the Rams.
Team 2, it's a shooting foul. Jorge Concepcion will be shooting 2.
The Rams trying to get past the second round last season. They were able to get past Mac U in the first, lost to Emmanuel in the second, the number 2 seed. They missed the tournament in 2017. Back in 2016, they lost in the first round under a 23-win season. This season, they're able to get to 21 if they win today and Saturday, which Morgan would take absolutely, and a chance for their program's second championship. Baseball in 2009, the only time Bluefield has taken home an NCCAA title. Olatunji Ebafemi comes in. Okoro and Dittmer in for Van Horn and Tenhove. Williams as well, Grove and Reed are out. And Concepcion goes 2 for 2 from the line. Much needed there to settle down the momentum garnered by the Yellow Jackets' 9-0 run. Here's Damon Parker, junior guard from Huber Heights, Ohio. He holds it at the top of the key. intelligent passing we've seen so far from these guys in the white jerseys. And look at that, Seth Dittmer off the bench, had 4 points yesterday, bangs his way in for a deuce there, 49-33. Oh, nearly a backcourt there on Jenkins. And he flings it out. Looking for something is Abifemi. Tight defense by Moffmer. 2-3 zone working well so far for Cedarville with 1 second on the clock. The 3 no good, offensive rebound and put back in by Concepcion. And the quick timeout by Richard Morgan. His team trails by 14 points. Not quite running out of time yet, 12:42 to go, and we'll see what Richard Morgan, 6th all-time in Virginia Cavaliers scoring. We'll see what he draws up for his offense that's been lacking of late. We'll see what Morgan's boys in red and blue bring out for this final 12 and a half. As it's been almost all Cedarville. The last lead for Bluefield was at 6-5. Mid-range jumper. Oh, it hangs forever, and Dittmer gets the rebound and a putback. Matching his total from yesterday, Seth Dittmer off the bench has a pair of buckets. Cedarville, who said goodbye to their all-time leading scorer last season in Patrick Bain, he's standing on the bench as one of the 2 assistant coaches, the All-American from a season ago. But they returned 4 starters, and they're hungry to go back and try to get a chance at the national championship after missing the postseason last year. Oh, lots of miscommunication there on the run-in from Cedarville, but they get bailed out by a kickball called off the left foot of the Nigerian Abifemi. Pass comes in off the hands of Okoro. Down goes Dittmer. He's holding on to the ball for dear life, and they get the timeout. These referees have given these timeouts as opposed to calling the jump ball. We haven't seen a jump ball today. And so with 11:38 to go, we'll take another timeout. This is the NCCAA National Championship on the nccaa.org. Inbounds pass under the net, and it's Parker who gathers it. Tries to drive it inside. Here comes Dittmer. Wow, what an impact off the bench for Seth Dittmer, the junior 6'9" forward who now has 6 points and a chance for 7.
Player foul number 2, team foul 5.
5th team foul for Bluefield as they are now nearing the bonus for Cedarville offensively. And right now, more important than their defensive struggles, it's been the offense because Bluefield won for their last 8. Gooch holds it, tries to find an opening. Concepcion has been the one bright spot offensively, 13 points on 4 of 8 with 6 rebounds, and Gooch attempting to get the rebound, can't get it. They call it out on him, which of course will lead to an irate Richard Morgan, and we see Zawadzki come back in for Moffmer. The depth of the guards for Cedarville is what's most impressive to me because Brandon Moffmer is fantastic, all conference, coming off of one of the best freshman seasons Cedarville has seen in a while. And then you've got Zawadzki who can just come right in for him. Both of them do start, but then you've got someone like Colton Linkus running around and exhausting the defense. Into Okoro, and the first dunk of this ball game makes it an 18-point affair. Are we going to have another massive comeback here in the second half of our Final Four? We had one earlier where Roberts Wesleyan came back from down 13 in the second half to win, booked their spot in the championship Saturday. Now to the far side in Concepcion, it's going to have to be a multifaceted attempt. They're going to need Jenkins, they're going to need Cousins, they're going to need Concepcion along with Reed, and right now, Jenkins, Reed, and Cousins have 20 points combined between the 3 of them. Yesterday, those 3 players combined for 33. Not to mention Concepcion's 20, but he's on his way to that now with 13. 20 on the shot clock, and it's passed out to Jorge. What a sweet shot. The senior transfer from UNOH. Still, though, down 16. 10:15 to go. Linkus in the corner, looking for something. Zawadzki gets it to him. Linkus lines it up. That one's off. Look at these Rams rumble. Double screen action for Jenkins. He can't do anything with it, so he gets it off to Concepcion. Averaging 12 a game. On his way to an all-tournament team bid this year. Deep 3, Jenkins. Wow, he was feeling it. The little man. 42 points now after an extremely slow first half, only scoring 27. Both teams struggled in the first. 36-27 was the score. Now in the middle of everyone, Parker turns and rushes the shot, but it backs out to him. Linkus in the far corner. Money. Colton Linkus matches threes with Jeremiah Jenkins, and it's 58-42 with 9 minutes to go. They can't keep trading shot for shot. Bluefield needs to put on a stop. Concepcion drives, gets bumped by Linkus, then steals it away from Parker, saves it, flies it up into the air, and it's poked right into an oncoming Cedarville Yellow Jacket. That's Van Horn ready to check in, and we've got our media timeout here with the turnover. 8:38 to go, 58-42 on the nccaa.org.
Cousins reported it for the Rams.
7:30 to go in this ball game. A semifinal appearance for both these teams, the first in 12 years for Cedarville, as the Yellow Jackets, pardon me, the first in 12 years, first since 2012 for Cedarville, as they won the national championship 7 years ago. Bluefield has never been to the semifinals. Here they stand, excuse me, had never been to the finals. Here they stand with a 12-2 run against and a 16-point deficit. And now a hook and hold called against Francisco Williams. Oh, they're calling a double flagrant on Linkus and Williams. And more importantly, that's Francisco Williams' third foul and the team's sixth. So now Cedarville for 8 minutes are going to be in the bonus. And by possession arrow, it goes over to Cedarville. That's an interesting call there. Both players are pretty confused. Gooch right back into Jenkins. Look at the little man among the sequoias, but it doesn't fall. Van Horn picks it up and flings it over to Zawadzki on the near side. Defended by Jenkins. Here's a size mismatch. The screen knocks him over. Van Horn with some size. His shot doesn't fall, but Van Horn stepping on the end line touches it, and it goes back to Bluefield, down 16 with 7:37 to go. Ten Hope's 15 still stands as the team high, tied with Concepcion for the game high. No one really nearing too much foul trouble. Van Horn has 3, so do Grove and Williams. Francisco Williams hasn't played much. He hasn't done much either, hasn't taken a shot. Here he stands under the hoop waiting for the Cousins pass. Instead it goes to Jenkins. Deep 3, it's off to the right. Rebound brought in, number 6 for Van Horn. He leads the team. Him and Concepcion both have 6. We haven't seen a bucket made in 2.5 minutes from either team. Bluefield 1 for their last 10. Cedarville 1 for their last 6. They're gonna hold, waiting for the perfect shot. Linkus drives, flings it to Zawadzki. He gets bumped by Abifemi. Now it's Van Horn, 4 seconds. Having to shoot is Linkus, and he drains it. Almost an emergency exit shot. And it flies them out with a parachute as they're now soaring with a 19-point lead, and a collision there. Whoa. Flying into the Bluefield bench goes Zawadzki off of the shoulders of Abifemi. Team's 5th foul. 6:33 to go, 19-point lead. Not insurmountable, but not pleasant either for Bluefield. Carrying it across the timeline is Jenkins. 6:30 to go in this ball game. Our next contest, the women's Final Four, between 2 and 3, Bruton Parker and Roberts Wesleyan, followed by Grace, the 5 seed, against the defending champs and number 1 overall seed, Mid-America Christian. Mac U flexed last night in the 92-66 win over Yellowstone. Grace as well with a 36-point win over Bluefield. Roberts Wesleyan blew out Hiwassee. Bruton Parker came back from down 19 to beat Judson. Got fantastic basketball in store. We had one great game already. This one has a chance for a miraculous comeback. But not if you're a Cedarville fan. You want your Yellow Jackets to move to 20-12 and a chance to win their 2nd championship this decade. Parker flagged for the foul, and Jenkins will go to the line. First free throws of the game for Jenkins, who has 13 points, make it 14. Abifemi comes out for Concepcion, so now all of the studs from yesterday's win are on the court. You've got Jenkins and Williams and Cousins and Gooch and Concepcion up against Zawadzki, Van Horn, Parker, Tenhove, and Linkus. Pass outside. Zawadzki had an opportunity. Instead, Linkus open, rebounded. Tenhove with help by Parker. Parker should get an assist for that rebound. Instead, he'll have a chance at an open three. No, he bypasses it. Zawadzki. Linkus will drive this time. Now Parker takes the open three. Just strong. Offensive rebound, the second of the possession by Tenhove. 5:30 to go. Nursing a 17-point lead. Will it be 1 versus 2 in the championship? It looks like maybe it will be. High throw, gathered by Van Hove. 15 on the shot clock, and Tenhove takes the three and hits it. That's gotta be deflating defensively to hold on for over 50 seconds and just see Tenhove with 2 offensive rebounds hit his 4th three of the ball game. Cousins blocked by Van Horn, picked up by Williams. Puts it back. 64-45. Jenkins running, and he gets fouled from behind. So Jenkins, pointing to his elbow, will have a chance to score points without any time coming off the clock, which is what you want to do if you're chasing a huge deficit. And now officially, both teams are in the bonus. Taekwon Reed comes in, 4 points today on 1 of 5 shooting for the senior. Not how he expected his final game of importance to go. Of course, the 3rd place game has importance, but not as much as a chance to play for the championship. Loser of this game faces Hannibal LaGrange Saturday at 10 a.m. in the 3rd place contest. Jenkins now with 16 points. That's the team high. Everyone chasing Tenhove's 18. Coming off of a 5-point performance yesterday, Tenhove misses everything there. Nearly gets it back, poked away, and Concepcion can't get it. 4 seconds, though, on the shot clock as Tenhove's shot did not hit iron.
Cedarville's possession. They'll maintain the current possession time.
4:07 on the clock. No possession was determined by Bluefield there. Oh, big collision. Picked off by Jenkins. No call on that collision. It goes over to Reed. Reed lays it in with the left. 64-49. That was a vicious bump near midcourt on that throw-in. 3:53 to go. 64-49. A chance to play for a national championship on the line. That championship game Saturday at 2 against 2-seed Roberts Wesleyan. Throw up to Van Horn. It falls into his lap and he throws it off the leg of Grove. Heads up play by Van Horn. He continues to impress. Six seconds on the shot clock. Let's see if they recognize. Moffmer with the ball. He's taking some break off. 2 seconds. They've got to fling it. Parker does. And it rattles in. Everything coming up Yellow Jackets here tonight. 67-49. More impressively than the offense, the defense for Cedarville. Their season average about 73 points against a game. This is 49 against a high-flying offense, averaging 80. Five seconds on the shot clock. They've let this possession go down. Deep three from the lefty. Reed hits it. For the time being, we've still got a bit of a ball game after Taekwon Reed matches threes with Damon Parker at 67-52. Running out of time, 2:40 to go. Foul down low against Ben Grove on Van Horn, and Van Horn will go to the line for a 1-for-1.
Player foul number 4.
Van Grove,
Team foul 7, bonus now for
no
the
more
Yellow
fouls to
Jackets.
give. He has 4.
A 1-and-1 opportunity, Colin Van Horn.
Free throw up and good. Okaru getting ready to check in.
Back in for Connor Tenhove.
They give Tenhove a much-deserved rest. 18 points, not sure we're going to see him again unless this one gets interesting as the second free throw clanks. Far side, Reed drives, throws one up, gets bumped.
Colton Linkus, player foul number 2.
So I'll tell you, the Roberts, Wesleyan, Bruton, Parker semifinal game in the female draw is designated for a 7 p.m. start. We'll see if we can get that one started around 7 for you, but it all depends on whether this turns into a foul fest or not as the first free throw in. That was Van Horn's 4th foul, by the way. And Reed goes 2 for 2 from the line. It's 68-54. Full court press time for Bluefield, a team that doesn't quite look accustomed to running that because it was easily cut through like a hot knife through butter. 2:10 to go, 68-54. Offensive foul called on a screen, and that's Van Horn's final. He has fouled out.
Team control foul, player foul number 5, team foul number 9.
So Van Horn has fouled out
Replacing Van Horn.
with 2 minutes to go, and a final stat line of 11 points on 4 of 8 shooting with 3 free throws, 6 rebounds, and 3 blocks. 3 blocks for Van Horn. He has been a mammoth all over the court. 1:48 to go. Quite trivial at this point. Shot misses, rebounded by Moffmer. Moffmer 11 points, Van Horn 11 points, Tenhove 18, Linkus 8. Dittmer off the bench with 6, Okoro with 4. Consistency all over the place. This is a team that averages 5 players with double-digit points. As the turnover picked up by Shields, 1:20 to go. Driving Reed, he gets fouled.
Robert Okoro with player foul number 2, team foul number 10, shooting 2, Tyquan Reed.
Reed today with 11 points, 4 for 4 from the line. Jenkins 16 leads the team, Concepcion 15. Disappointing from the bench today. Abifemi 2, Williams 2, Cousins 6.
For the Rams, Jenkins, Grant Zawatsky returns for the Yellow Jackets, Parker.
You heard the PA announcer. Zawatsky back in the game. Jenkins back in the game. Excuse me. That's Trent Dunn that comes in the game, number 3.
Wes Ayers back in.
Jenkins comes out, as so does Parker.
Concepcion.
And Wes Ayers comes in. Concepcion's night is probably finished. So we'll see. Tenhove is back out there. A little surprised by that. They're able to beat the press. Now they can settle down with 20 seconds to go in the shot clock. Zawatsky settling. Over on the far corner. Flung to the middle. Left hand Tenhove, no good. Poked out by Okoro, but it's picked up by Reed. 48 seconds to go in this ball game. And a foul called, and 1. Reed with a strong finish to his night.
Good basket, Jorge Concepcion. Grant Zawatsky picked up player foul number 3. Devonta
Parker comes in, out goes Okoro, they go a little smaller.
An 8-1 coming up.
And a timeout is called with 46 seconds in a 10-point game. We'll take a break, come right back. 68-58 the score with 46 seconds to go in this semifinal on the nccaa.org.
Taekwon Reed, 1 attempt.
Free throw coming for Taekwon Reed. He completes the three-point play. And it's 68-59. 45 seconds to go. They beat the trap. Tenhove is going to hold and get fouled. So now we'll play the foul game. Might as well. Down 8. 38 seconds to go. You got nothing better to do.
Brandon Shield with player foul number 2. Team foul 8. Olatunji Ebafemi back in for Reed. Robert Okoro back in for Lincolns. 1-1. Connor Tinhope.
Tenhove, who is nearly perfect on the season. Best in the nation in free throws, 95%. Continues his perfect evening. Now 4 for 4 from the line. 70-60. 35 seconds to go. What can they do in garbage time? Wes Ayers chucks up a 3, no good. Now on the far side, Parker gets bumped. Nearly saved by Grove, 17 seconds, and they're going to foul.
Bluefield's Trent Dunn with player foul number 1. Team number 9. A 1-1 opportunity.
One last 1-and-1 foul, probably the last foul of the game. But we'll see how long this next Bluefield possession takes. It's 10 points. If it's under 15 seconds, I would not think that they'll foul, but you never know. Didn't think they'd foul there, honestly, at 10 points with 16 seconds. Two for 2 from the line, ends Moffmer's 14-point night. Interception, Moffmer takes it away, 11 seconds to go. I think they're gonna let it go. We've got a national championship game Saturday at 2 o'clock. The 1 seed, Cedarville, cruises through another contest. They won their 3 games back in 2012, averaging about 18 points in their victories. Just about the same here with the large win yesterday and another one here today. Cedarville defeats Bluefield 72-59. And we will see Cedarville against Roberts Wesleyan Saturday at 2 o'clock. For those of you that will tune back in then, we'll talk to you later. For those of you that are with me for our women's Final Four, we'll be back in just about 12 minutes for Roberts Wesleyan against Bruton Parker. Coming up next on the NCC Championship Network, I'm Daniel Gilman. Hope you have a fantastic rest of your Thursday.